Hi, I'm Mr. Krieger. You know, our night sky is filled with stars and planets. College Board test writers have demonstrated an interest in astronomy and celestial bodies. This video will focus on a group of vocabulary in context questions I call the Naming Minor Planets cluster. A cluster is a large set of questions based upon a specific topic. Now, minor planets are typically small asteroids. As you can see in the diagram on this page, most of these minor planets are found in a belt between Mars and Jupiter. Thus far, astronomers have identified about 600,000 minor planets. That's a lot. But what do minor planets have to do with SAT vocabulary in context questions? Finding names for this large number of minor planets poses a big problem. Under current rules, it is permissible for astronomers to name their discoveries. But just 3.3% of minor planets have names, while the rest have numbers. The focus of questions in the minor planets cluster is on the task of finding unique names for each of these minor celestial bodies. Okay, is it feasible or doable to find a unique name for each minor planet? Feasible is a common correct answer. For example, in the early stages of discovery, it was feasible to find unique names for all of the minor planets. But with 600,000 celestial bodies, this procedure is no longer feasible. Feasible is a typical Module 1 correct answer. Needless to say, College Board test writers have much harder answers for the Module 2 questions. Watch out for insurmountable and insuperable. Both words are synonyms that describe a situation in which obstacles or problems are just too great to overcome. The task of finding unique names for 600,000 minor planets is best described as either insurmountable or insuperable. Well, of course, as you would expect, College Board test writers have an impressive arsenal of wrong answers that appear in Module 2 questions. Don't be tempted by substantial. This often misinterpreted word means having considerable size or amount. Well, for example, hurricanes cause substantial damage to coastal communities. It is important to remember that finding 600,000 unique names for minor planets is an insurmountable and insuperable problem. Within the context of the passage, it is not a substantial problem. Now, many test takers are tempted by the word ambiguous. This frequently used SAT word means unclear and confusing. Finding specific names for 600,000 minor planets is not an ambiguous undertaking. According to the passage, the task is clear, but has become, quote, nearly impossible, close quote. And finally, many test takers are confounded or puzzled by the word presumptuous. Don't let this word tempt you. It describes bold and often rude behavior that oversteps the limits of courtesy. Many students make the common mistake of believing that a hard word they don't know will be the correct answer. This flawed strategy rarely works. Vocabulary and context questions typically include a significant amount of extraneous or unnecessary information. The questions in the Naming Minor Planets cluster are no exception to this rule. They often begin with a sentence describing a minor planet that is named for a bird, flower, or even an extinct mammal. Don't let this information distract you. Remember that although it was once feasible to name minor planets, the task is now insurmountable or insuperable. I'm very pleased to report that the keywords in this video are defined and illustrated in my book, Winning Words. You can learn more about winning words by checking out my website, insidertestpreparation.com, or by looking at the book on Amazon. Thank you for your time and attention. I'm confident my series of videos on SAT vocabulary clusters will prevent you from being diabolically cooked by College Board test writers. In addition, be sure to check out my series of videos on disputed vocabulary in context questions and on challenging critical reading passages. Once again, thank you for your time and attention.